much, sir. I wish to thank the 12 members who spoke on this particular bill. This bill has come here to the Rajya Sabha after having been passed in the Lok Sabha. And even the honorable member who spoke on the statutory resolution that they wanted to move, have said, and I'm surprised, and I would appeal to all the members to kindly listen to this point. The member from Congress party raised the issue of judicial independence. Who's speaking, sir? A member from the Congress party, which during the emergency completely curtailed the judiciary's independence. Today, such a party asks us on judicial independence. What a shame! They seem to be talking on judicial independence. Shame on them, sir. I'm addressing to you, sir. Shame. I'm addressing to you that it is a shame, sir. Judicial independence, if they want to talk about it, judicial independence, I want them to talk about emergency days when judiciary had no voice. That was when they started talking about judiciary being committed. Judiciary's commitment. They asked the question then. So what are they talking about? Independence of judiciary? I'm astonished. Anyway, so this is an ordinance which we are bringing to the ordinance is being replaced by a bill, and I would like to say this is the house of legislature which makes laws. The primacy of legislature in making law is important. It is as important as the independence of judiciary. The primacy of the legislature to make the law is as important as the independence of the judiciary, and that should be recognized by people who are sitting here to make the laws. We are here to make the laws. Of course, we have to keep in line with the requirement of the Constitution. And if it is violative of the Constitution, the Supreme Court will always say, no, it is violative of the Constitution. But to even make the law, I am being reminded by people who misuse their position to control judiciary and to tell us that independence of judiciary, we fully respect the independence of judiciary. We fully respect the independence of judiciary. We fully respect the independence of the judiciary, but we also remember the power of the law-making body where we are seated here to make the law for the sake of the people, for the sake of the common people. And in this case, cases going to the tribunal and then immediately appeals going to the court has only lengthened the process, has only mounted the backlog in the tribunals and in the courts as well. So in order that, I can even tell you that even the Supreme Court has deprecated the practice of tribunalization of justice. Even the Supreme Court has said, don't tribunalize justice. And therefore we've come up with a law which I understand the lawmakers or the members who are seated in this house who are essentially looking at making legislation work for the sake of the common people. And to be reminded that independence of this judiciary, so you can't pass this. Astonishing, sir. And I'm therefore appealing to all members of this house to consider why this is important and on the points on which the Supreme Court had struck down in 14th of July, on 14th of July 2021, I would want to say that there are areas of legislature on which, if the court also has raised a point, we are willing to answer. To read it wrong, I think is really misleading the House. The judiciary has not struck it down on constitutionality. It has only raised questions on certain points on which, even on which, we say, if the court says appoint for 5 years, and we say no, in order to have a better, efficient management of the tribunal, we want members to be there only for 4 years and not 5 years. Is there a constitutional question in that? 5 years versus 4 years, is there a constitutional question? I would like to ask all honorable members. And therefore, the way in which we have gone about it. One more example, sir. The point that the court raised was that we shall recommend a panel of only one member. We have said, please kindly recommend 2 members. And also said, you have to appoint them immediately within 3 months. I'm asking what is sacrosanct about 3 months, especially in COVID times when we are not able to do all the requisite due diligences. And suppose there are instances where that one member whose name is sent from the court, there is an IB information which is such that I cannot appoint them because of the IB. Thank you. I am looking at them. You go to your seat. Honorable members should go to a seat rather than point me. Honorable members should go to a seat rather than tell me that I shouldn't look at my members. I will look at my members even as I address the chair, sir. I am quite aware of the rule. I will look at the members, appeal to them through you by addressing through you. I don't want somebody who is violating this house's rule by standing in the well to dictate to me. She is standing in the well and dictates to me, sir. How right is that? Standing in the well and dictating to a member who is standing in a position and speaking. How right is that? I ask you, sir. So, we said preferably in 3 months we'll try to do, but in case there are IB objections, we may need more time. Now that it's COVID, we need more time, and therefore where the court has become rather too tight, we have through this law said we will do as much as possible, but it can't be like this, nitpicking on certain points, and therefore we have given a due application of mind. The AG has been consulted. We've taken that position. It is well